You're watching Newsfirst and taking a look at more local news. The Ashrita Tissera, the Minister of State Assets and Enterprise Development, says there are suspicions that a national government will arise in the country. The minister expressed these views at a public rally held in Nathandia today.
At times a fear arises within us as well. At the rate that they are coming, what will happen to party politics? What do we call that government? Will we have to go for national government? At the rate they are coming, there is a suspicion that the country will have to go for such a status. I believe that more people in this district are asking to cross over. We will not take them. Not from this district. Today in Parliament, there are only 1 or 2 MPs from the Putlam district who are still with the United National Party. I believe that Ashri's arrival is a great strength to us. The singing elephant is now on our side.
Let's now take a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day. On business news tonight, the EU Trade Commissioner in a statement says that China and the European Union have diffused their biggest trade dispute with a deal to regulate Chinese solar panel imports. After 6 weeks of talks, the EU's trade chief and his Chinese counterpart sealed the deal over the telephone, setting a minimum price for panels from China near spot market prices. Europe and solar panel makers accuse China of benefiting from huge state subsidies, allowing them to dump about $28 billion worth of below-cost solar panels in Europe last year, putting European firms out of business. The 6th National Education and Book Fair, organized by the Welfare Association at the Colombo Public Library, was held for the 4th day today. The book fair is being held at the Colombo Public Library premises. The public have the opportunity to purchase books with educational value at a low price at the book fair. Newsfirst screen tests were also held parallel to the exhibition and fair today from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. The book fair, for which Newsfirst is a media partner, will conclude on the 31st of this month. Another phase of the Newsfirst Gammadda program was held in Pulannaruwa recently. The Gammadda program gives the people an opportunity to bring the issues faced by them directly to their public officials and public representatives on one platform.
Losses are being incurred because the corn grown during the Yala season cannot be sold at the Dambulla Economic Centre. Why are you taking the corn to Dambulla? Large amounts of corn are bought to produce 3 posha. Therefore, do not take the corn and go to Dambulla. If there is corn being grown in Pulannaruwa, then give it all to me. We will purchase it for the Ministry of Health.
This problem may have arisen as a result of trying to sell unripe kernels. Properly ripened and processed kernels fetch a price of about 35 rupees in the market. That is the prevalent price in the country today. That is what we must prepare for. In the case of unripe kernels, there is a 50% risk.
Persisting issues surrounding fishermen from Sri Lanka and India have caused numerous problems from fishermen from both countries. Fishermen in Sri Lanka charged that Indian fishermen violate the maritime boundary and poach in Sri Lankan waters.
A 200 square mile area off the coast of Sri Lanka falls under the security and supervision of the Sri Lanka Navy. While all living and non-living oceanic resources in this area belong to Sri Lanka, as per the United Nations 1983 Convention on Ocean Laws, Sri Lanka's maritime boundaries are being extended. While the relevant report was submitted to the UN on the 8th of May 2009, it is to be inspected in 2028. Over the recent past, Newsfirst has reported on a number of incidents where South Indian fishermen have violated the maritime boundary and poached in Sri Lankan waters, affecting Sri Lankan fishermen. In addition to poaching, it was also reported that these fishermen damaged the nets and equipment of Sri Lankan fishermen. At present, politically broad-based talks are taking place between Sri Lanka and India regarding this issue. Steps are also taken to increase Indian Coast Guard patrols near the maritime boundary to prevent Indian fishermen from violating the maritime boundary. The most recent incident of maritime boundary violation and poaching was reported from off the coast of Kalpitiya this month. Nets and equipment belonging to Sri Lankan fishermen were damaged in this incident. This footage was provided to us by a number of fishermen that set out to sea today from Kandakulya in the east and from a number of villages including Kalpitiya. These Indian fishing boats were fishing in Sri Lankan waters off the eastern coast.
කොයි මිනිසුන්ට එහෙන් මෙහාට එල රස්සා කරන්න දීලා එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට එහාට යන්න දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ දෙකම නැතුව අපිට විතරක් කසා දාන්න යන මෙතන සිද්ධින්නේ.
කිසිම දෙයකට බයත් නැහැ. අපිට එහෙට ඉන්දියන් සීමාවට අයිනටවත් යන්න දෙන්නේ අපි අල්ලගන්න.
Our attempts to contact Indian fisheries authorities to inquire into this incident were not successful.
පන්නේ ගෙදර ආවේ නිකන්.
Well, up next is look at the Crime Watch.
The driver of a three-wheeler was hacked to death in the Nainamadam area in Vennapur, Chillau. Our reporter said that an unidentified group had pretended to offer the driver a hire, had accosted him and then killed him. The victim has been identified as 20-year-old father of one, Nalin Darshana from Koreavatta in Chillau. The Vennapur police have taken custody of the three-wheeler, a knife found at the crime scene and clothing believed to belong to the suspects. A tense situation arose today as area residents went in search of a cab involved in a hit-and-run accident at dawn yesterday in Katun area on the Chillau-Colombo main road. Our reporter says the young cyclist who was run over by the cab has succumbed to his injuries. The police have identified the victim as 22-year-old Nilan Fernando, a resident of Maravilla.
Meanwhile, 2 bodies were recovered in Wadua and Kinya today.
A human body washed up on the Potupitiya beach in Wadua this morning. Police say that the body was disfigured, making it difficult to identify it. Meanwhile, fishermen in the Kandala Aliyutta area in Kinya came across a woman's body today. Our reporter says that the body was entangled in the fishermen's nets. The woman has been identified as 40-year-old mother of 4, Ataullah Fauzal Sidaya, a resident of Faisal town in Kinya.
Newsfirst U reporter Yuran Kaviranga filed this report on the discovery of a dead body in Bandarawala.
A dead body was found on the roadside near the Diganatana bridge on the Bandarawala road this morning. The Bandarawala police conducted investigations and have identified the body as that of a vegetable trader from Daragala area in Valimada. The Bandarawala police are conducting further investigations.
U reporter Bandarala Yuran Kaviranga.